Good morning. Thinking about strategy in the age of AI. And of course, one of the things that's become really interesting for me is testing out Grok, which is the artificial intelligence from X, Elon Musk's platform. And my gosh, is it good. I really recommend that you give that a go. And as I was trying it, I was suddenly sort of reflecting on the innovation strategy that he's building to build something that is absolutely world leading and dominant. If you take a moment to step back and appreciate the brilliance of his plan, it's just remarkable. So let's have a quick think about it as we sip our morning coffee. Hang on, I need to get a little bit of caffeine in me. Right, well, let's start first of all with the fact that in the age of AI, and you're thinking about innovation strategy, it's data is more important. Data is the new oil. Data is more important than money. You can have lots of money, but if you don't have data, you can't build, and you certainly can't sustain, and you can't accelerate your AI. So money is the enabler. Money, it's not the core asset. What you want is access to data. You want access to massive amounts of data, but most importantly of all, you want access to unique data assets or data oceans that no one else can access, because that gives you then a competitive advantage if you have a proprietary data set. Right? So let's think about X. Right? X, formerly known as Twitter, is a unique data set. It's something that has many of the world's conversation, thoughts, ideas, arguments, right? All kinds of silly things on there, serious and silly, and it's just a very rich data set, right? And it's also a very humanized data set, right? Of course, there's lots of bots on it, but the point is, it's mainly about humans interacting with humans. So you're getting a very interesting, very unique way of understanding how humans interact with each other as a foundational data set. Furthermore, it keeps generating data, right? People keep interacting with X, and that's why it's not just a static data environment. It's like a living data ocean where every day new information is being generated, right? And this news is important in the sense of it's providing context because people are arguing and discussing and sharing things, right? And that's what the AI can learn from. So that's the first thing that Grok is able to do, is able to suck this unique data set out of X and absorb it and use that to give it an edge. Because of course, X can buy all the other data sets that are out there anyway, right? It can access Wikipedia and the internet and these other things. But for example, I don't believe that ChatGPT gets access to X. I don't believe that Claude gets access to X, right? So those are things that it will not be able to access. So that's one thing. The second thing that I'm very confident that Grok is accessing is, of course, all the data being generated by the Teslas in the world. One of the things that's become clear in the sort of the race to EVs and the future of the car is that the car essentially becomes a massive sensor system. As it's driving around, it measures, it knows location, it knows what's going on around it. Its cameras can see traffic, it can see the advertising, what's going on by looking at the billboards, it can look at the weather, it can look at so many things. A car is absorbing massive amounts of data in real time. I mean, think about it right now, how many Teslas are driving on the roads and what information they're generating and feeding back in real time. And what's important about this information is it's about the physical environment, and it's about humans interacting in physical environments. So this is a very special data set because it's very unique in what it generates. In order to be able to generate that data set, you need a company like Tesla. If you don't own a Tesla company, you're not going to get that data set. Does OpenAI own a company like Tesla? No, it doesn't. So it might be able to buy a data set, perhaps someone's going to be selling that, but it's always going to be a disadvantage in that sense. So it's not, and I want to emphasize that it's about this unique combination of the hardware moving through the physical environment with humans around it, whilst of course still looking at the digital experience, right? So when you're in the car, it's listening to the music that you're playing. Maybe the kids are streaming some movies. What movies are they watching, right? It's such a huge amount of data that Tesla is generating. And all of that, of course, is being fed into Grok AI, right? So you're generating another massive unique data set. But wait, there's more. Let's not forget about Starlink, right? So Starlink is Elon Musk's global space internet, basically, and this is beaming in internet access to many people around the world. In fact, Ukraine has mentioned that one of the key reasons it's able to resist the Russian invasion is because it has access to Starlink, right? It's played a critical role here. So That's the third massive data set, is a global satellite-based internet system where you can also analyze the data patterns and use that to enhance your AI. So you're looking at the X data ocean, you're looking at the Tesla data ocean, you're looking at the Starlink data ocean, but there's even more. Of course, there are rockets from SpaceX, and these are, of course, very sophisticated pieces of technology, and AI is being used to govern, manage, design, and fly these rockets, right? The future of rocketry is not humans flying rockets, it's AI flying the rockets and being guided by humans, right? As maybe mission command. So that's another massive data set that you're getting in there, and a unique data set, because now you're looking at how advanced technology is interacting at a planetary level, right? Interacting with landing, taking off, flying through space, and then in the future flying to other planets, right? Where, I think Mr. Musk recently mentioned it's about having Starship land on Mars with Grok AI and Optimus robots as they build the new Mars colony, right? So Grok will most likely be the first AI to land on Mars, right? It might even get there ahead of humans. That's a pretty amazing idea. And of course, there's a fifth element there, which is the Optimus robots, which is sort of the next sort of big leap for Tesla, which is going beyond cars and into humanoid robots, right? That's going to be one of the next big things in our age. Is we've got cars in Industry 2.0, we got computers and smartphones in Industry 3.0, and Industry 4.0, we're going to get robots, right? They're really coming. I just watched an amazing video from a Chinese company showing Kung Fu robot, and it's a Kung Fu robot. It's jumping around, doing back kicks. I mean, it's just amazing, right? So we're in 2025 now, as of recording this video. As that technology accelerates ahead, by 2030, it will be ubiquitous. We will definitely have this. So again, those robots, who's going to power those robots? It's going to be Grok AI, right? So you've got these 5 unique data oceans. I think of them as data oceans because they're alive, they're dynamic, they're massive, they're generative, as well as all the other data sets that are out there. And that's really going to empower Grok to become something really unique. And in order to challenge that, you're going to have to really build something very special yourself. That will rival that. So I think that's really impressive. I think that's really remarkable. And there's undoubtedly other things in his strategy that I haven't even seen yet or understood. But it's worth noticing there that sort of final point here is an anecdote where he said the real value of Tesla is not in its cars, it's in its manufacturing capability. It's not the car, it's the factory that produces the car, the gigafactories and their methodologies. And when you think about it, that makes a lot of sense, because as you go forward into Industry 4.0 and what will become an age of abundance, it's really about having AI interfacing with a smart factory so it can build anything, right? It could build anything instantly, right? Because the AI can figure out what it is that needs to be built and can build it. And you have the hardware manufacturing to not just build Teslas and robots, but perhaps a flying car. Maybe it could be a boat. Maybe it could be a smartphone. It could be anything you want, because the traditional limitations of what you could build in a factory are no longer there. And this then is where it becomes really interesting. Combined with the feedback loops of users using Grok to drive it further and push its intelligence further, with the incredibly intelligent design that has gone into it, and the scale at which it's operating at, looking at how they recently installed the massive amount of GPUs in the record time they did, it's just astonishing. It's really astonishing. It's really exciting. It's really impressive to note this, the arrival of this technological capability, which is orders of magnitude ahead. And if you compare at the level at which these guys are thinking at to the level that Volkswagen is thinking about, for example, it's just it's light years ahead. They're not even remotely close. Volkswagen can't even build software for a car, right? Let alone Optimus robots landing on Mars, right? They're just outgunned and outclassed at every level, and it's remarkable to see that happening in real time. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for listening. See you later.